Okay. Well, it's hell getting old, isn't it? You gotta get glasses out. And so this is the Zoom. We've done Zoom before. We're gonna talk today about things you probably have heard, but we need a reminder of everything from keeping the faith to not taking things quite so seriously. Because this is it, you know, the adage, life is not a dress rehearsal. We're also going to talk about the importance of keeping a positive attitude when traveling and in life. Somebody once told me, can't do, never did. When people say, oh, I can't do this, and I can't, and this. Think of these. You're going to hear a lot of little quotes like this. And I think some of them are cliches, but cliches are there for a reason. They mean, there's truth behind them. You know, one of my mentors was Dr. Lou Gerhard. And you remember him?
Yeah.
He had a great column.
Yes.
Positive Living, Dr. Lou Gerhard, a tough-minded optimist. And he was a pastor, but his focus was on making your life better. And if you don't have his book, it's filled with short essays, and it's quite a keeper. We mentioned, David mentioned that we were going to talk about Charles Schulz. And to that end, these are some of the quotes that I love. And I think you mentioned a couple of them. This one here, I don't have time to worry about who doesn't like me. I'm too busy loving the people who love me. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
You have people that walk around and they hold this grudge. And I'm estranged from my sister. I'm estranged from this and this. Let it go. Make a good title for a song. And what was the name of the movie? It was just on TV. Let it go. Frozen.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that's Charles Schulz. I don't have time to worry about who doesn't like me. I'm too busy loving the people who love me. Worrying won't stop the bad stuff from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Sometimes you stay up at night because things are exaggerated in the middle of the night and you lose sleep. Stop worrying. You know, I have a philosophy when people worry and they're like this, and in travel, I say, is this something you're going to remember on your deathbed? And the answer is inevitably no. The smile on my face doesn't mean my life is perfect. It means that I appreciate what I have and what I have been blessed with. I choose to be happy. Let me read that again. The smile on my face doesn't mean my life is perfect. It means I appreciate what I have and what I have been blessed with. I choose to be happy. Paul, would you sing for us a song that I heard over, Rosemary Clooney's song, over the holidays, Counting My Blessings.
When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I think of when I had none at all, and I go to sleep counting my blessings. I think about a nursery and I picture curly heads, and one by one I count them all as they slumber in their beds. If you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll go to sleep counting your blessings.
How about that? How about that? Thank you, Paul.
You bet.
Just count the blessings, you know. Look, you're here, you're healthy. You know, yeah, maybe we have financial problems, maybe we have some personal problems, but just be grateful that we live in America. I mean, Lalo, my vice president of ACT, and I have been to about 140 countries and emirates and principalities and other nations that just get in the way of others. And you know more about this country when you leave it than just being here. I mean, we are blessed. We are blessed. We just lost Betty White. And I was reading some of the things. She would have been, well, she was living her 100th year, and she would have been 100, starting her 101st year, January 17th. She said that the secret to her long life is that she tries to avoid eating anything green. She said it was important to enjoy life, accentuate the positive, not the negative, she said at the time. She added, it sounds so trite, but a lot of people will pick out something to complain about rather than say, hey, that was great. It's not hard to find great stuff if you look. You know, that reminds me of let's see, there was this thing here. Oh, maybe you've heard this. It says, for example, the other day I fell down the stairs. Instead of getting upset, I just thought, wow, that's the fastest I've moved in years. Same interview, she said she still loved vodka and hot dogs, probably in that order. Anyway, she had the right attitude, and look how long she lived. And that's what we have to adopt. Chinese proverb is, if I keep a green bough in my heart, a singing bird will come. And that's what we all have to do. 10 attitudes to pack when traveling. I think, David, you said that would be what we would talk about. I know that it was what you look forward to the most in this presentation, so we'll go there. 10 keys for successful travel and to apply in life. Number 1, and this is what we tell our people, do your best. You know, when you travel, we're all jet lagged after a 14-hour flight from Europe or even longer journey like Australia or Africa. But when you finally arrive at your destination, make an effort to smile at the tour manager who greets you and takes you to your hotel, and be pleasant when others who are also forcing themselves to be pleasant. Also, you are an ambassador to the United States. Yes. Be nice when on foreign soil. Tour managers do their best to deliver a fantastic experience, and if every traveler gives his best, wouldn't your trip be a joy? So do your best. Rise above your circumstances is number 2. Have you ever been let down on a trip? 2 words often describe disappointing vacations. Great expectations. Seldom do places look like they do in travel posters. It really does rain in Hawaii, folks. Often. Dust storms are frequent at the Taj Mahal. African safaris are occasionally void of animals, and fellow tour members can be downright rude. Rise above such things and embrace what is going well on your holiday. You know, I wrote a book about this very subject, and this is not a shameless plug, I'm just saying. It's called Globetrots. You didn't tell me they'd be walking on this tour. And it's about people who, when they travel, they just, instead of counting your blessings, I mean, I remember in Portofino, beautiful sunny day. In fact, it's on the posters that are around here. It's rather embarrassing, but that's fine, taken several years ago. I was standing on the pier looking at the yachts and all this beautiful day in Portofino, Italy, And one of my clients all of a sudden tugged my shirt, and I said, "What's up?" And he said, "You didn't tell me to pack sun shorts on this tour." And you've got to be kidding, you know? Great expectations. Number 3, respect all people. That means being punctual when meeting and returning from to the bus, not hogging the front seat of the coach every day, refraining from talking when guide is speaking and criticizing the culture and customs of foreigners, etc. Is this not common sense? Also, respect and tip the industry workers, your bus driver, guide, hotel maids, bellboys, etc. Their livelihood depends on your generosity, and they contribute to so much. Why penny pinch in the wrong places? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Take personal responsibility. If I hear one more time, "You didn't tell me," please. Be patient is number 5. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall bend and not break. That was told to me by a Princess Cruise director. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall bend and not break. Can you relate? The cruise director shared this. So true, especially in travel where long lines at airports and side attractions are common. Is it something you're going to remember on your deathbed? I don't think so. Attitude versus aptitude. Travel with an open mind. Put the guidebook down and learn by experience. Don't assume the French hate us or that you'll be kidnapped in Mexico. Pack a smile. Attitude determines your altitude. Number 7, patience and persistence. This is especially important to you, Karen. Both are vital when traveling, starting at the airport, like getting that seat you want. I have to have an aisle seat. Let me tell you why. Just have patience and persistence. And hotels. I want a room with a view, please. Again, patience and persistence are obvious musts. I've had clients, when we check into these nice hotels, come down after they check in and they said, "I'm married. We happen to want a king-size bed. Do you mind? A California king." You're not going to go to Germany and find California king beds, or especially Italy or Österreich. But you know, what would you do here? You would go to the front desk and you say, if your room smells like smoke or something, do you have a different room? But other times people have this attitude that they just expect what they want. Set goals, number 8. Why are you going to Bangkok? To shop till you drop? Visit the nightclubs? Admire the temples? Do the research before traveling. One of my personal goals was recently to be baptized in the River Jordan. And Lalo and I escorted a group to Israel. That's exactly what I did. So set goals. Number 9, let it go so you can grow. To me, this refers to worries. The kids you left at home are fine. Start enjoying your trip. Ditto the pets. You won't catch Ebola in Africa or be captured by ISIS in Morocco. Your husband who is home won't care if you break bread with a male member with your tour group. Who is to know? And finally, OQP, which means only quality people. Break bread with that interesting single man on your tour, but go to bed alone. Retain a modicum of class, as you've got to live with yourself when you return to the U.S. Yeah, Tricia, you're blushing. I bring home more than a plastic Eiffel Tower. You might say an 11th key is to be prepared. You know, the motto of the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts is the same. Be prepared, especially when it comes to foreign travel. All right. I would also say carpe diem. This is something that Dr. Liu used to expound on. Seize the day. You know, it's going to be gone. Look at it, it's 2022 already. My sister, when she turned 50, I asked her, "What have you learned?" And she said, "There are 2 types of people. It matters not what color of your skin, if you're rich or poor, what gender you are, or sexuality. You're either mean or nice." And I never forget that. She's now 64, but I'm thinking, at the time. It really is true. As you get older, it makes no difference. You're mean or nice. There's a 5 by 5 rule. If it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes being upset by it. You like that? I do. So in life, go to the light, not the darkness. Don't hang around with negative people, you know. Joel Osteen, the televangelist, said, picture yourself on the roof, and you have somebody hanging, crying out on the roof, and you're on the roof, and you're going to try to lift this. Are you going to be able to lift this person up, or are they going to drag you down? And so choose your friends carefully. Sometimes, I don't know why I wrote this down, but it's true. Getting out of bed would be 10 times easier if there was a Caribbean Ocean in 85 degrees weather waiting for you, but be realistic. It doesn't happen, you know? Accept the reality and be positive about it. And more than anything else, have faith. You know, Norman Vincent Peale has said, shoot for the moon, but even if you miss it, you'll be among the stars. But you have to have faith. I bought this in Israel. It contains mustard seeds. And I think it's time just to kind of talk about this painting that we brought. So, Jack, what do you see in this painting?
What do I see?
Yeah.
A young person inviting, come on in.
A young person's saying, come on in.
Come on in, the water's
You mean a man that looks like David? Anybody else see anything else? Werner, what do you see? Anybody that is familiar with the Bible?
Let me hold this for you.
Thank you. You know,
Interesting.
I count at least 10 times a mustard analogy in the Bible. You remember the passage in the Bible where a storm comes. Jesus is with his disciples, and they're on the Sea of Galilee, and a storm comes, and they wake him up. He was asleep, and he says, "Oh, ye of little faith." And Jesus walks on the water. And Peter says, "You certainly are the Son of God." And Jesus says, "You can do it too if you have faith." And what happens is Peter steps into the water and he walks on water, but then all of a sudden he sinks. And this is described in Matthew. Jesus said, first of all, to the disciples, and he said unto them, "Why are you fearful, O ye of little faith?" Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and then there was a great calm. So then he tells Peter, "You can walk on here if you have faith." Immediately Jesus extended his hand, there's the painting, and caught him, because Peter lost his faith while he was on there. All of a sudden he got scared. And you remember this? And he started sinking. And Matthew 14:31, immediately Jesus extended his hand and caught him, saying to him, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" And he didn't say, "Have faith in me." Faith in yourself. And I think, especially after this disastrous year we just had, a lot of us have lost faith in ourselves, and are thinking, what else can happen? What is going to be bad? And Ernest Holmes has a quote that you said, "Fear brings failure. Faith brings success." It's just that simple. Never listen to negative talk, Ernest Holmes said, or pay attention to it, and you will succeed where all others fail. So you have faith in God, in yourself, and in life. Because without faith, you will lapse into hopelessness. I brought something for you. If you agree with me, and even if you don't, it's fine. I have mustard seeds. We bought these in Capernaum. This is where Jesus said the Sermon on the Mount, and where he talked about faith. Now the back are the quotes. And Lalo, can you help me? If you would like one of these, the cost is $10.95. This is my little gift to you, or our little gift to you. But keep it and remind you. Okay. I could go on and you realize that, but I refuse to. Any of you have any comments? Please, 2022 is here. Have faith in yourself and you will succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.